For weeks, the man had been stalking her, observing her every move. He knew where she worked, where she lived, and even what she liked to eat. He was obsessed with her, and he would stop at nothing to make her his. One night, as she was walking home from a long shift at work, the man approached her from behind and shoved a rag soaked in chloroform over her mouth. Within seconds, she was unconscious, and he quickly dragged her into his van. When she woke up, she found herself in a small, dark room with no windows. The walls were made of concrete, and the air was damp and suffocating. She was tied to a chair, and her mouth was duct taped shut, rendering her unable to speak. The man would torment her every day, both physically and mentally, leaving her alone for hours at a time only to return and inflict more pain. He reveled in her suffering, telling her in a low, gravelly voice that she was his now, and that she would never leave. Days turned into weeks, and the woman lost all sense of time. She was starving, thirsty, and in constant agony. She tried to escape, clawing at the walls and pounding on the door, but it was no use. One day the man approached her and told her that he was going to let her go. He removed her restraints and handed her a set of keys, informing her that the door was unlocked. However, he warned her not to tell anyone about her ordeal, or he would come for her again. The woman stumbled out of the room, disoriented and weak. She found herself in an abandoned warehouse, not knowing how to get home. She wandered the streets, desperately seeking help, but no one would listen to her. Eventually, she found herself in a hospital, where she was treated for her injuries. She recounted the details of her captivity to the doctors and nurses, but they did not believe her. They diagnosed her with severe trauma and sent her to a psychiatric ward. The woman spent the rest of her life in that hospital, trapped in her own mind, reliving the horrors of her captivity over and over again. The man was never caught, and he continued to abduct and torture women, always staying one step ahead of the law.